Andreas is coming all the way from Belgium. He works for Ordina. He's going to tell us a little bit about some of the stuff they're working on. Take it away.
Hi, guys. So my name is Andreas Evers. I'm from Belgium. And we kind of built this microservice dashboard open source project because we saw that a lot of our clients are using microservices these days. And they kind of, when they started using microservices, we see that the developers kind of become these space cowboys. They can do whatever they want because they get all this freedom. And that's kind of a problem if you don't restrict that a little bit, because basically management looks at that in a kind of pessimistic way. They kind of see their dreams in ruins because, yeah, basically you don't have control anymore. So I'm gonna warn you, by the way. I got a lot of stock pictures coming up. So first one is kind of this guy, who is obviously a manager, right? So. He kind of has concerns about his microservice stuff. He wants to get control. He wants to see if there's compliancy with the standards, and he wants to get control and grip of things, right? And then we got the analysts. They also have concerns. They basically want to see what's out there currently. But not only that, they also want to see if they make a change to something or if they instruct to make a change, that basically what's the impact. And also maybe like if they introduce something new in the future, they want to have a view of that. And then you have the developers. Obviously, this guy is a developer because he has these fancy hipster glasses on. And they kind of want to see what's currently out there, what versions are there, and yeah, basically get a total view over the architecture. So this is kind of the microservices dashboard. Yeah, maybe bad resolution, but it looks better in real life. And you got these 4 columns, which is from the front end to the back end. You can see all the different nodes and the links between them. Setting this up, really easy. Go to start.spring.io, and then basically just add a dependency, add an annotation, and run it. If that's too hard, it's still one easier way to do it is to clone our repository and then basically just run this command. So you don't even need an IDE anymore. You don't even need to know Java. You don't need to have Maven. You just need the JVM. So that's really easy to set up. And then basically how it works is you have this UI, the UI part on the left, that talks to the server part on the right. And it's kind of the adapter pattern, so you got a bunch of aggregators that scan the ecosystem, your microservice architecture, and they just kind of pull in all this information to display on the UI. And this information, for instance, is the health aggregator, mappings, index, hypermedia endpoints, and packed. So all this stuff can be pulled in. You can write your own aggregators really easily. And how this is built, it's using Spring Boot. It's an auto-configuration project using Spring Cloud for scanning the ecosystem. And then it's doing reactive extension stuff with RxJava and RxNetty, maybe with Reactor in the future, who knows. And on the UI side, we have D3GS for rendering the graph, obviously, and Angular. And we are looking forward to transitioning to Angular 2 and TypeScript, and then using RxJS as well. So this kind of brings me back to the microservice dashboard. You see a bunch of information there. It might be hard to kind of get a detailed look on some of the components linking to each other. So you can actually start filtering. And you can have a couple of ways to do that. Like for instance, here with our mocked application, you can search for pizza, and it will show you which nodes are actually connected to a pizza node throughout your entire architecture, so from the front end to the back end. And then you can also see events. Events is when something goes wrong. So for instance, your aggregator tries to scan something on the ecosystem and something goes wrong, there's an event that triggers it. Or if something's not compliant, because the manager wants to know that, then it's also shown in the events. And then also for the analysts, we have virtual nodes. So if you have a microservice which has yet to be developed, you can add a virtual node, which will then, once it becomes available in the architecture, will override, of course, the virtual node. And then we have, of course, reference documentation. I can't speak about everything in 5 minutes, but definitely check it out if you're interested. We have a Gitter channel as well. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Community involvement a little bit, because it's open source, but I mean, just running at our own clients would be a shame. It would be nice to have it running at other clients as well, or other teams or companies. So basically, we're looking for features, we're looking for feedback, and we're this team, by the way, JWorks from Ordina, and we're definitely interested in hopefully seeing some of you guys adopt this or giving this a shot. Thanks for your attention.